Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Ba da bam 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 bam. Yo, what up? Hey, hey, hey. You ready? You ready? You ready? Let's go.
Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father
To 8.
and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Friday. That's right. Today is Friday, August 22nd, 2025. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be August 22nd, 2025. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible, and I do mean incredible day. I am coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky. That's right. Coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky, where today the weather is supposed to be magnificent as well. But yesterday was a memorable, incredible, beautiful day. At one point yesterday, the weather was so nice that me and my friend Richard, who just came in from Arizona, Richard and I sat out on the back deck and we realized we were just old men talking about the weather because we were out there for about 30 minutes. We were like a dog sticking its head out the window, just enjoying the breeze. Like, it was absolutely beautiful. And then this morning, and those of you that are in the car business, you'll understand this, or, probably a lot of you that have cars too might understand this. But for those of you that are in the car business, this is the time of the year where we start getting phone calls at the car dealerships from people saying that their tire pressure is low. So I got in the truck today, and when I got in the truck this morning, my tire pressure light was on, adjust pressure in the tires, which tells me, that's right, the pressure outside is changing. And so as it gets a little cooler, the pressure in the tires changes just a little bit, and the sensors think your tires are low, but really they're not low. It just has to cycle. It's a little bit different pressure. So that always tells me that we're headed into that season, which means we're headed into fall, which I stinking love. Fall. I absolutely love it. Also, yesterday was a really incredible day. We had this amazing experience where we were able to take the team and I went on a field trip, which add that to the perfect weather that we had yesterday. It was awesome, right? Perfect weather, field trip. We are outside, and we took a field trip to the Thoroughbred Training Center. Now, the Thoroughbred Training Center, for those of you that don't know, this is the place in Kentucky where the best of the best horses are trained. These are horses that ultimately, a lot of them end up running in the Kentucky Derby if they qualify, so on and so forth. So this is where the best of the best do their thing. And we got an opportunity to go out there as a team. It was super, super cool. Evan, Jessica, like the entire team, we all went out there. We all had an opportunity to ride a horse. I think Sam was the only one that didn't ride a horse. We got to meet all these incredible race horses, and we got to meet the incredible people behind these horses, the trainers, the jockeys, not necessarily jockeys, but the trainers, and those that, there's one guy that lives in the facility, like literally lives in the facility. He is there 24 hours a day, has been for 22 years. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, lives with the horses. Like, these horses are such a significant they have so much value, and there's so much love for these horses in this industry. And so Like they can't just say, oh, okay, we're done for work for the night and now we're going to go home and we'll come back tomorrow. No. They've got actually people that live there on site. And if he hears like a horse kicking or he hears neighing or he hears anything out of the ordinary that he's not supposed to hear, he goes out and he takes care of it. Imagine that. 22 years, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. That's how much love exists in this space. And I got to tell you, it was incredibly powerful. It was incredibly powerful. And from there, from the Thoroughbred Training Center, we headed over to a place called Midway, and we got to meet this horse right here. This horse is a 1-year-old horse that this training team thinks is really, really, really special. And so we got to meet this horse. They're planning on training this horse starting next year. And if all goes well from what they see in this horse, they're hoping that this horse right here will be racing in the Kentucky Derby in 2027. We also got to meet a couple other horses like this one here with James. We got to meet a couple of other horses that these guys are training that are already putting up. I mean, these horses are putting up numbers 4 and 5 seconds faster than anything they've seen over on these tracks. This group of trainers is just doing an incredible, incredible thing. It's so incredible that this group of trainers, they actually did a Netflix documentary because this group of trainers, they bought a horse for $11,000 last year. And with this group of trainers, they took that horse to the Kentucky Derby. It did not win the Kentucky Derby, but it qualified and it ran in the Kentucky Derby this past May, just a couple months ago. And the story was so incredible that Netflix did a full-on documentary about it. This team of people, like I can't say it enough, they didn't talk about racing horses the whole time they were there. They did not talk about racing horses. All they talked about is God. They talked about the magic of horses. They talked about love. Like, dude, when you were there, it was just crazy to see this culture of love that exists over there. Like, I've just never seen it before. Everybody looking out for everybody else. Everybody loving on these animals. Like, it was just absolutely unbelievable. Now, with that said, though, I do have to back up a little bit, and I have to tell you the story. So if you're watching on the screen, there's a guy on the right here, and his name is Toomba. Toomba is the guy there in the suit, the tie, so on and so forth, right? His name is Toomba. Now, check this out. I was driving to work like 2 years ago. This was 2 years ago. I'm driving to work, and I see Toomba, this well-dressed man. I see him walking down the street in a place where nobody should be walking down the street. Like, we're out in the middle of nowhere. It's out by my house. We're 10 miles from the city. Like, you just, like, you wouldn't be walking out there. So I see him walking out there, and I'm like, this dude needs a ride. So I pull over. I'm like, hey, bro, can I give you a ride? He's like, sure. He jumps in the car. I'm like, what's your name? He's like, my name's Toomba. I get to know him. Toomba has 8 kids, just like me at the time. And most of our kids are about the same age. Toomba lives not far from my house, same area. He had inherited a farm. He had inherited a horse farm from his grandfather, I believe it was, who had passed away. Now, Toomba knows nothing about horses or anything like that at this point, but he inherits this horse farm. So he moves his family, him, his wife, his 8 kids, to this farm. Now, he's in the world of solar business-wise, but he's run into some bad luck. So financially, he's down on his luck. He has a meeting with a big potential client that day that he'd been trying to get for a long time, and he had a doctor's appointment in town. He goes to the doctor's appointment. He goes to go to this meeting. He's down on his luck. Finances aren't great. He goes to start his truck. Truck won't run. It's like a farm truck. Truck won't run. And so he has two choices. Choice number one, try to scratch up the $30 it's going to take an Uber into town. Or choice number two, leave 5 hours early and walk. Because of his financial situation, he chose number two. So this man was walking down the street, down Winchester Road. I see him walking down the street. I pull over. I'm like, you need a ride? He's like, yep. He tells me the story, tells me what he's got going on. I get to know him a little bit. We exchange numbers, go forward, and I drop him off. He's literally going to a doctor's appointment at a free clinic right in the middle, in the heart of like the homeless aspect of the city. He's not homeless, but he's using free services. He's just financially doesn't have the money. So I drop him off. He goes to his appointment, so on and so forth. We text back and forth for a little bit, right? Kind of getting to know each other. But then time goes by. 18 months goes by. I'm at a movie with my kids. You guys know how I go to the movie with my kids all the time. I'm at a movie with my kids. We leave. Savannah leaves her wallet. I turn around. I pull up right into the front of the theater so that she can run in and get her wallet that she left in the theater. When I pull up, this Mercedes pulls right up in front of me. I look. There's somebody that jumps out of the passenger side of the Mercedes. I look. In the driver's seat of the Mercedes is Toomba, the guy I had picked up on the street a year and a half earlier. So he gets out of the car. I get out of the car. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? We get to talking, so on and so forth. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, bro, you're not even going to believe all the crazy things that happened. So he had some success on the solar side since then. Life had really turned around. He was in a much better place financially. But then he tells me this incredible story where he woke up one day. He had a dream that he had won. He had a horse. He was training a horse, and that horse had won the Kentucky Derby. That was in his dream. He was training a horse, and that horse had won the Kentucky Derby. So knowing nothing about horses, knowing nothing about the Kentucky Derby, knowing nothing about any of these things, the dream was so real to him that he went and started reading some books on horse racing. Then after he started reading some books on horse racing, he decided, I need to get around some horse people so I can learn more, like who's the players in the horse racing world. So he goes and starts hanging out at the Thoroughbred Center and other places. And ultimately, this guy named Larry says, hey, why don't you can help out around here. Why don't you clean my stalls, clean the paddocks, pick up poop, take out the trash, stuff like that. So he starts taking out trash, picking up poop, and doing all those things. And he's talking to guys, and he's connecting, he's building relationships, and he starts learning about the horse industry. And he becomes good friends with this guy named Larry. Larry says after a couple months, hey, Toomba, you're pretty like wicked smart, and I love your personality. I want you to stop cleaning paddocks and stop taking out the trash. And instead, I want you to start learning how to train these things and start helping me lead these teams. So he becomes Larry's right-hand guy. Larry owns a farm. He's breeding horses. He's racing horses. Toomba becomes Larry's right-hand man. They buy a horse at a sale for $11,000. That horse is the one I mentioned earlier that ran in the Kentucky Derby in May. Toomba went from me picking him up on the street to being in the owner's box at the Kentucky Derby with a horse racing in the Derby that he helped train. This is why his story, their story, not necessarily his story, but their story became a documentary on Netflix, right? Because it's just a crazy story of the horse, but Toomba's in that Netflix documentary if you watch it. So that alone, that whole thing's crazy, right? Like had a dream, woke up, started reading about it, networked, started learning about it, became good friends with the guy. Now he's in the owner's box. He's at the Derby. His dream almost comes true, except for the horse didn't win. In his dream, he wins the Kentucky Derby. So fast forward, he's working with Larry a little bit more. And check this out. Larry, the guy who owns the things, Larry calls Toomba in one day, says, Toomba, man, you're an amazing guy. I love all of this. He goes, let me show you something. Pulls him into a barn. He says, check out this horse right here. Toomba's like, oh, man, looks great, looks great. He's like, cool, that's your horse. Toomba's like, what? And he's like, bro, that's your horse. I'm giving you a horse. I want you to really continue my legacy with this business. And so I want you to start with this horse here. So he gives Toomba a horse, which, bro, these horses, like, they bought that one horse for 11 grand. That's not the normal. I mean, these horses, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, right? So he gives Toomba a horse. Well, a few weeks after he gives Toomba the horse, and I know this is a long story, but trust me, it's worth it. A few weeks after he gives Toomba the horse, Larry passes away. Larry's wife goes to Toomba and says, man, Larry really loved you. He really thought there was something special about you. And so, Toomba, we want you to take over the entire business. So Toomba now, at this point, has taken over as the leader, as I don't know if it's documented owner or what, but he's now running this guy's business. They have 10 different horses that they're racing. They have new horses being born that they're breeding, so on and so forth. And so Toomba invited us out to come to the Thoroughbred Center. Toomba and I have stayed in touch. He was here in my office a couple weeks ago. He invited us to come out to the Thoroughbred Center yesterday, see the training center, see the horses, and meet this horse here who he believes is going to be the horse that he's going to win the Kentucky Derby with in 2027. He believes it's going to be this horse right here. What an incredible experience. And it all started with me deciding, God putting it on my heart, to pick up this guy walking down the side of the street. Now, speaking of God, this week's series, we've been talking about who is Jesus. And we've been breaking down all the different aspects of what made Jesus an incredible leader. Today, we're going to wrap up that series. We talked about Jesus the rebel. We talked about Jesus the servant. We talked about Jesus the storyteller. We talked about Jesus the relational leader. And today we're going to wrap that up. But before we do, you know what we have to do on this show? We're going to go old school with the OG Rise and Grind. You know what we have to do on this show? We got to do a little bit of dancing. We got to get our bodies in motion. All right, so for those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right, I need you to hit that share button, because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you. Yes, you. You never know. One decision can help completely transform somebody's life. Hit that share button, tag a friend. This is also the part of the show. You got to lift a little more weight. If you're in the weight room right now, I need you to lift a little more weight. If you're on a run, I need you to pick up the pace. This song is about 2.5 minutes long. Pick up the pace for 2.5 minutes. Get a little extra burn. Get a little extra sweat. And if you're in the bed, get your rear end up out of the bed. For real. It is time. It is time. It is time. But say good morning to me. I'll say good morning to you, whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay. Wes Storm, good morning. Great to see you. Don Sankey, thanks for being here. Liza Myers, Borges, let's go. Tosh Queen, thank you for being here. Bella Rigby, thanks for being in the building. Sonia Merritt, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here as well. Trisha Rue is in the building. Mike Larkin is in the building. Spencer Nicholson's in the building. We got Tosh. Did I already say Tosh? I think I did. Gail Dopp, good morning to you. Gail Dopp, thanks for being here. Andrew Boyer, Thank you for being in the building. The name of the Netflix documentary, I'll get it for you here in just a second. I don't remember off the top of my head. Felicia Shakespeare, thank you so much for being here today. Marilyn Wilkin, thanks for being here. Rodney Rock Hatfield is in the building. Thanks for being here, Rodney Rock Hatfield. I appreciate you. Sean Jones is in the building this morning. Young Johnson is up in here. Luis Grafton Norris, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Rich Pintrick. Rich Pintrick is in the building. Regina Fleming is in the building. Pam Poe, thank you for being here as well. Jody Tibbs, thanks for being in the building. I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. For those of you that are watching on replay, remember 99% of the people that watch this show watch it after 5:30 a.m. live in different parts of the country and all around the world. So do me a huge favor, drop a comment if you're here. I want to know that you stopped by. Even though you're not live with me, you are incredibly important to why we show up here every single day, Monday through Friday, 5:30 a.m. for some motivation, education, and inspiration. Thank you so much. All right, cool. This week, we've been in the series, Who is Jesus? And here's the thing. The true test of leadership is not what you build in your lifetime, but ultimately, it's what lasts beyond it. I'm going to say that for you one more time this morning. The true test of leadership is not what you build in your lifetime. It's what lasts beyond it. See, what's crazy about this guy named Jesus is he never held office. He never wrote a book. He never led an army. But yet his influence is global 2,000 years later. Now, like I mentioned just before we started dancing, this week we've explored Jesus as a rebel. We've explored Jesus as a servant. We've explored Jesus as a storyteller. And we've explored Jesus as a relational leader. But today we're going to wrap up this series by looking at the ultimate mark of leadership, which is legacy. I want you to think about it for just a second. Jesus led for only about 3 years. Some like to think it's 947 days, but he only led for 3 years, and he never built a business. He never built a business empire. Let's say that. Never built a business, but he never built a business empire, never published a book, never ran for office. Billions of people follow him. Empires that were built have fallen. Kingdoms that were once reigning supreme have crumbled. Empires and kingdoms that you've never heard of, but yet his influence only grew. Now, see, that's legacy. Legacy is when your influence continues to grow. It's interesting because most leaders fade when their life ends, right? Most leaders fade when their life's ends. Most celebrities fade when their life ends. Most artists, whatever, right? They fade when their life ends. And yet Jesus built this movement not on wealth or systems, but ultimately he built his movement on people and principles. He built his movement on people and principles. You see, Jesus' vision of love combined with service, combined with forgiveness, combined with faith is what transforms humans. Love, service, forgiveness, faith. Like, it's interesting because Jesus did not leave behind monuments like some of the Roman leaders that we can think of, some of the these statues and things that were built as monuments to the leaders of the time, right? Jesus did not leave behind monuments. He left behind a movement. Oh, I love that. Don't leave behind monuments. Leave behind a a movement. From 12 disciples to 2.4 billion followers today. Think about that number, 2.4 billion followers, right? From 12 disciples to 2.4 billion followers today. The calendar that tells us today is August 22nd, 2025, is based on his birth and his life. Schools, hospitals, charities, human rights movements, they all trace back to his teachings of compassion, love, service, forgiveness, and faith. You see, a legacy is not what you achieve, but ultimately what you set in motion. There's a Bible verse, John 15, it says, "You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit. Fruit that will last." You see, legacy leadership asks the question, what will outlive me? It's not about me. What will outlive me? Legacy leadership means in your business, you're building a culture that lasts after you're gone. When it comes to your family, it's about passing along values, not just possessions. Every night before we go to bed, when I'm home, when I'm on the road, it gets a little bit different. They still do it, but I don't. But every night before we go to bed, including last night when we had some friends in from out of town, every night before we go to bed, my family sits around in a circle and each person in the family says one thing that they're grateful for. And then one kid sits in the middle of the room, a different kid each night of the week, which we're going to have to figure something out when Hutch gets a little bit older. I guess maybe Savannah will be moving out at that point because we have more kids than there are days in the week. But one kid sits in the middle, and everyone in the room tells that kid one thing that they love about them. First, we do one thing that we're grateful for, and then we do one thing that we love about them. And then that kid says the prayer for the night. And we do that every night. And it takes 15, 20 minutes, and it is the best part of any day, no matter what we did that day, whether it was a good day or a bad day, whether maybe it was a great day or a character building day, maybe there was some spats or some fights amongst the siblings or things didn't go our way. We end our day with gratitude and love. And by ending that day with gratitude and love, I know without a shadow of a doubt, I don't know which ones, I don't know if all of them, but I know without a shadow of a doubt that 20 minutes a day of gratitude and love is something that will permeate throughout my children's lifetimes and their children's lifetimes and their children's lifetimes as they continue this same tradition that we're doing today. You see, in your family, like, yeah, sure, I want to pass down some things for them financially. Yes, for sure, I want them to have an easier start. For sure, I want to do those things. But ultimately, I just want them to love people, serve people, forgive people. And I want them to have faith in something bigger than themselves. It was the biggest thing I was missing in my life was I didn't have faith in something bigger than myself. So listen, in life, making choices today that ripple into future generations is the sign of incredible leadership. So as we wrap this week, I want you to think about what is it that you're building right now that's going to outlast you. Like, if you were gone tomorrow, would the impact of your decisions today remain in a positive light? If the answer is no, let's head in a different direction. Maybe we need to do a 180. Maybe some of the choices that we're making today are more selfish choices versus ripple effect. maybe it's the opposite. Maybe we're making ripple effects, and today God's putting it on your heart to do even more. You see, Jesus proved that legacy isn't about what you leave behind in the bank. It's about what you leave behind in people. If you want to be an incredible leader like Jesus was, stop chasing short-term wins and start building long-term impact. Because the real question, it's not who are you now? The real question is who will remember and what will they carry forward because of you? A guy named Peter Stroppel said, legacy is not leaving something for people, it's leaving something in people. William James said, the great use of life is to spend it for something that will outlast it. And this one might be my favorite. Shannon Adler said, carve your name on hearts, not tombstones. My guy Toomba is going to take a horse and win the Kentucky Derby. There's no doubt in my mind. And as he does this, he's going to continue to carry on Larry's legacy. You see, Larry has built an entire community, entire culture around love, service to others, forgiveness and grace. Some of these horses are biting and nipping, and forgiveness and grace is written all over this place. And most importantly, every single member of this team has faith that what they're doing is something bigger than now. I truly, truly, truly believe it. These guys are going to do something incredibly special. And you and I are going to be motivated and inspired through it. That's always my hope with this show, is that we bring motivation, education, and inspiration to the world. I think we've done that this week. If I were to give myself a grade, I'm going to give myself a grade of A- this week. I think it was a great series. But that's just me. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I would not be here if it's not for you. I absolutely stinking love you. I really, really do. I absolutely stinking love you. So if nobody's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. Go out there today, this weekend. I'm super excited. I'm taking my family to the Ark today. We are going to there's a huge Ark exhibit about 45 minutes from the house. So we are going to the Ark today. We're taking the family. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. For real, for real, for real. I'll be back next Monday. I'll be back on Monday, 5:30 a.m. We'll do it all over again right here on hashtag Rise and Grind. Go get it. Let's go.
It's 5:30 a.m. and the world's awake. Glenn Lundy in the house, no time to break. Husband to one, father to nine. This is the anthem, this is the grind. That's all. Rise and grind every single day. 5:30 in the morning, Glenn's leading the way. Husband to one, father to nine. Host of the show, man, it's time to shine. Rise and grind, keep the fire alive. Motivation daily, we all gon' thrive. From the stage to the mic, he's one of a kind. This is the anthem. Rise and grind. Before the sunrise, he's sparking the flame. Millions inspired, remember the name. Faith, family, future. He's leading with love, dropping daily wisdom that comes from above. Early morning power, he's setting the tone. 5:30 a.m., yeah, you're never alone. Glenn Lundy's voice is a light in the dark, igniting every soul with a fire to spark. Rise and grind every single day. 5:30 in the morning, Glenn's leading the way. Husband to one, father to nine. Host of the show, man, it's time to shine. Rise and grind, keep the fire alive. Motivation daily, we all gon' thrive. From the stage to the mic, he's one of a kind. This is the anthem, rise and grind. The best morning show with a powerful vibe, dropping energy that helps us all rise. Husband to one, standing tall and true. Father changing the game.